Greetings in the name of the Most High Yah. It's King Yedaya, aka King Solomon, staying wise in life and in these markets. And today is Monday, the 11th of July, 2022. I'm in a live CAD Swiss trade, and I'm going to give you a little breakdown on how I entered this trade, why I entered this trade, and how I'm going to manage it. So let's start off with the calendar. On the Forex calendar, there's nothing coming up for the Swiss franc, neither the Canadian dollar. Let me pull out my Epic pen. All right. So with that out the way, even into Tuesday, right? There's no news coming in for them at all. Let's see on Wednesday, right? So 10 a.m. Wednesday is when we got the first news coming in for the CAD. So we got open range on the CAD right now and the Swiss. There's no news to interrupt this trade. Right, checking the quantum strength indicator. I have CAD up here at overbought, my bad. Above overbought, just hanging out here. Had a little pullback, but just still holding above overbought. And then we have the Swiss franc here is heading south, so that's the Swiss franc. I put that line in the middle there. I call it the equator. That's just that, like the midline. And the CAD Swiss here is above overbought. Hopefully the Swiss will head even further south. All right. Let's see. Let's go over to the trade. So I have some indicators that I use here. Let's start off with the money zone, right? So the money zone is kind of like showing you where price action had the most set of value. It's kind of based on the most transactions around a certain area in price. And on the previous day, you use it like the Camarilla levels, where it's a 2-day relationship. So you look back at the previous day and the current day, and you kind of make assessments from there. So the value area high is that purple line right here. All right, so this purple line right here, that's the value area high on the previous day. And this was the value area low on the previous day, right? And this is a virgin level. It hasn't been touched since it's been created, so it keeps coming across, right? Just to signify that price action hasn't touched it. So this value area low could attract price to it, right? So it keeps coming across as price action goes forward. It keeps coming across to help you see on the chart that this might be an area where price might want to come back and retest, right? Because when it took off from here, it never came back to touch this level, right? So let's see. The 2-day relationship is an overlapping higher value plus the range of the price action, or between the value area low and the value area high, is much tighter. So that kind of signifies that you might get a breakout here, right? So let's measure that real quick. Oh wait, hold on. So let's start with the previous day. Right, so that's 58 pips, and today the range is 12 pips, right? Almost 13 pips, 12.7. So that's indicative of like a breakout. So with price having broken out here, right? So you see we broke out, had this congestion, and now we're breaking out again and retesting this level, right? Excuse me. So I'm looking for like a bullish run, right? Where it wouldn't pull back too much. But I have my stop below value area low, which is this white line again. And it's just like a starter, it's like an introductory position, right? So I took this here. If it holds support at this level, right, around this breakout level, then we're good to go. When it breaks out again and retests, I'll when it retests this level right here, like if it breaks out, let me grab the arrow. If it breaks out from here, right, and then we get like a pullback to this area right here and then go up, right? So at this area right here is where I'm gonna add to the position, right? So that's the money zone. Let's go to, hold on, let's go to my Camarilla indicator. That's the Camarilla pivots. So we have an overlapping higher value on the Camarillas, and let's see, let's make this a little bigger. Right, so we have an overlapping higher value where S3 was down here previously, right? That's S3 right there. This is previous day R3. So we had a little push up on the R3, right? And we had a huge push up on support, which is S3. So that's a good bullish sign for me right there. My stop loss is way below S3, even below S4, kind of below structure as well. So I have all this to play with the pullback, right? So these are support levels, S3, S4, right? And S4 kind of lines up in the middle of the structure right here, in the middle of the consolidation, the back and forth, right? You see all between that, it lines up right there. So that's good support right there. If we do get like a pullback to this level and we start, we create like a reversal pattern, I'll add right here again, and I'll be able to keep my stop at this level right here. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what my volume point of control is suggesting. Right, so volume point of control is in the middle of all this consolidation right here. That's the price where most of the transaction, the most volume was, the most transactions were placed. So this is the most volume at 0.75422. So that's another form of support right there. Stop loss again below that. So let's see what else we have. We have the accumulation distribution indicator. This is each time this line gets touched as support, it gives you the number, which is 8 right now, right? And the line gets thicker, and each time this one was hit as resistance, which was 3 times, it also gets thicker. So you see it's thicker than this this number 2 right here, this resistance line, right? So it kind of signifies how strong this support level is. So again, it's below the support level, my stop loss. So we're good to go. But this is Forex, anything could happen, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's go to my floor pivots, right? So floor pivots is another kind of pivot, but it's calculated differently from the Camarilla levels. So with this one, we have a wider range as well in a higher value relationship, where today it's narrower than the previous day. So this is indicative of a breakout as well, and this also acts as support. Like this bottom central pivot acts as support, and price usually is attracted to this these pivot levels. Let's see what else. So that's good as well too. We got good support here. So let's see how they line up together. So with the Camarillas, we have the central pivot, which is a double pivot zone, and the S3 right here, they're lining up for support. We have a high volume node right here at the top central pivot. That's also a double pivot zone. So you see price stopped here a little bit, kind of created a kind of doji candle. So it's all places of support and resistance, Let's see what else real quick. Throw on the money zone here. So the money zone creates a double pivot zone right here at the bottom central pivot. So the value area high and the bottom central floor pivot is aligned kind of in the same place. So all of this here is just support. Right, that's good support right there. And S4 and the volume point of control for the pivots is lined up right here. So all of this is good support. Plus we have the value area low for the money zone right there above, just above the stop loss. And let's see, draw on the volume point of control, and that creates like a this is a high volume node. This red, hold on, let me get this red line here, that's a high volume node. And this dotted line right here with the red in the middle, that's the volume point of control, as I mentioned before. So again, all of this, that area right here is just supposed to be heavy support, right? And then we throw on the accumulation distribution, and then we have, you know, it's all a support zone right here. So that's why I think it's a good risk to reward trade. It's also a good probability that it would work in my favor. We had the bullish breakout, good volume and stuff like that. Had some volume come in here for this selling, found some support, slight bullish volume come in here. This is kind of anomalous because the candle, it should have been I guess it's all right, but these other candles here kind of, you know, they're showing the weakness that this transpired to be, you know, because the volume is going up and these candles got smaller. So ran into some resistance right there at the breakout level, pulling back right now, but the volume is also pulling back. So that's a good sign. We had this heavy volume go straight into low volume, right? So, and we're getting that low volume coming into S3 and the support level. So it's all lining up good. So these are the kind of trades you want to take where even if the trade doesn't work out, you had everything going in your favor and it's a good decision. So you know that you didn't do anything wrong. The market just does what it wants to do, but this is a high probability trade that it's going to break out, you know. So these are the kind of trades you want to take. And I have my take profit here at R4. That's the floor pivot R4, because if we well, actually we did touch the top central pivot, but usually if price just doesn't touch this level, the central pivots at all, it usually runs up to, like, well, not usually, but it's a high probability it is going to run all the way up to R4. So in this trade, since it touched the central pivot levels, depending on how much it pulls back, it'll kind of decrease how much the run is going to be. Like we might get to like only R4 on the Camarillas and R2 on the floor pivots. Let me just highlight that. Right, so that's the floor pivot right there, and R4 is lining up as well. So that's a resistance level right there. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Yeah. And R3 floor pivot and R5 is lining up, and R4 floor pivot and R6 Camarilla is lining up. So we have some resistance to run into, you know, but it's looking kind of bullish to me. It's looking like it's going to make some moves. So let's see here. Since we're doing CAD Swiss, let's check out the US oil chart. Let's see what we got with oil right here. And to be honest, the oil chart isn't looking that bullish, right? We got some wick rejections and some serious resistance up here, and it lines up with R3 in the current it's actually a lower value relationship. I think it's an overlapping lower value. Let me take off some of these indicators so you could just see that alone. Only the Camarillas, right? So yeah, R3 was up here. Yeah, so it's a overlapping lower value level. Let me take off the volume pointer control as well. Yeah, so, and plus these are some fib levels I drew here on a higher time frame. So let's see those. This is the 38, the 50, the 38 right here, the 50 and the 61. And looks like we're heading down to the 38, but hopefully the 38 will create some kind of support. But if not, this weakness could affect the strength of the CAD. So as this pulls back, hopefully we get some support at S3 and we push up from there. And that's one thing I would say is kind of going against this trade right now, the CAD Swiss trade. But we're getting the support right here at S3 already. You see that wick pushing back up? Yeah, so I think it's looking good. Hopefully it works out. So I think I'm gonna add at the breakout of R1 and probably move my stop up to probably below S3 right here, somewhere around here. Alright y'all, it's King Yediya, aka King Solomon, staying wise in life and in these markets, and y'all trade safe and stay blessed.